Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got a super cool knife review / knife overview to share with you guys. This is the Off Grid Knives Polaris XL, part of their Elite series. Something interesting about this one, this is OEM'd by Kunwu, and Kunwu showing off, of course, their ability to do a shiny or satin DLC on VANAX steel. This is also an absolute monster of a knife, while still being plenty utilitarian and capable. Definitely premium knife, an expensive knife. We'll talk about that. I will link this down in the description. It actually has 3 different configurations that you guys can check out. It does help my channel when you use those links, but it's entirely up to you. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me, and thanks to Off Grid Knives for sending this in. Let's go ahead and do some size comparisons here. You know what I should make sure? Oh, you know, there it is. I just found my PM2. It's been lost for a couple days. Let's go ahead and put it up against the full-size Excalibur, as well as the smaller Excalibur. You can see here, this is a beast of a knife. It might help explain exactly how beastly of a beast knife it is if we measured it. The overall length is 9.5 inches. Blade length is 4 1/4, and your cutting edge is actually, it's like 4 1/16. Let's go ahead and put it up against the Spyderco PM2 that's been lost and underneath my mouse pad for a couple of days. Hello, welcome back to the world. Up against the PM2 and Para 3, it's a lot bigger. Let's put it up against, finally, the Benchmade Griptilian, or in this case, the Ritter Hogue, and the Hogue Deca. All right, how's the action on this knife? It is a titanium frame lock, which will be underwhelming to some people. It's fine. Titanium frame locks aren't going anywhere, and they are still largely preferential, right? This knife flips, and it flips really well. This is a big flipper. You need a good detent. You need a good flipper tab shape. You can push button it. We have not quite an XM flipper. It's a lot softened up. The best way to flip this is to light switch it. It feels really good there. Access to the lock bar is good. There's no double clutch, and it does fall shut and feels really good internally. Also, you can use the slot to reverse flick it. You can also kick it out like this. Really good. You can even Spidey drop it if you want to. That's a lot of knife handle coming down, but you can't. The action's good. I enjoy it. I don't really have anything negative to say. You can choose the way you want to deploy it. It's been tuned properly. It feels nice. So let's go ahead and do carry profile. Thickness up against the Spyderco Para 3. It's really not as thick as you might think. It's really just a hair thicker than the Para 3. Well, this is beveled though. So no, that's not right. It is thicker. It's not insanely thick, but it definitely is thicker than the Para 3. Length and height, here's where you're going to notice it in the pocket. Up against the PM2 and Para 3, this guy's going to take up a lot of room in the pocket. It's not uncarryable. It's not so cumbersome that people wouldn't carry it. No, it's just a big knife. What are we looking at for materials? We are looking at, in this case, some carbon fiber. Really nice looking, I don't know if we call this marble carbon fiber. Really nice looking. Wish they had done something on the other side. They didn't, but okay. You can also get it in red, and then there's, I think, like a toxic, maybe a toxic yellow. It looks pretty good. But in this case, all black. This is the Dark Star variation. And then we have titanium for the frame, the backspacer, the pocket clip, and then, of course, a big old chunk of DLC-coated VANAX for the blade. Ain't no chance that you're going to get any corrosion on this blade. No way, unless you're going to, unless you store it in the ocean and just on the ocean floor, right? And in that case, I think it might still take a little bit. But this is basically a use it and don't worry about it type of knife. I love that. One of my favorite things about VANAX is the incredible corrosion resistance. Let's go ahead and weigh it. It's a big knife, 6.6 ounces. Not as heavy as some of you might have expected. My limit is usually 6 ounces, but I gotta be honest, I had a pretty positive carry experience with this guy, as is the case with all of the knives that I carry for review. I am more of a design reviewer, so I don't go out and jump out of a plane and try to survive in the jungle with this stuff. No, I use it casually, the way that I would normally carry a pocket knife, and the way that the vast majority of people on Earth would carry and use a pocket knife, casually. So I had a good casual carry experience with this guy. I would recommend that you wear jeans while carrying this, or, cargo pants, something that is not athletic pants or some light, thin material. It just doesn't work very well. But, if you're used to wearing heavy duty work pants or jeans or cargo shorts, yeah, I think it's fine. Let's go ahead and measure the blade stock thickness of this big old boy here. Not an incredibly thick blade stock, probably about 150 thousandths or so. No, it's even thinner. It's 140 thousandths. It's not bad. Almost middle of the road for such a big knife. Let's go ahead and weigh it. Oh, wait, we already weighed. What am I doing? Let's do the hardware check. Get out my tools. My tools are very inexpensive and very recommendable. You can find them right down in the section of my description that talks about the tools I use on this channel. The tools. T8 for the pivot, T8 for the lock bar insert screw, T8 for the body screws, and T8 for the pocket clip screws. Thank God. And there is, of course, a mounting position for lefties on the other side that I think is well masked in the form of what do you call this? A filler tab. T8 across the board. Awesome. Wonderful. As long as you have the right tools for the job, this will be stupidly simple to take apart and put back together. Let's move into the meat and potatoes here. It is not a unique profile. We have seen this profile many, many times. The cool thing about this knife is the giant chunk of DLC VANAX and the fact that it's just it's a 9-inch folder. As is the case with off-grid knives, it does have kind of that hint of tactical without going too far into the forbidden zone. And we all know what the forbidden zone is, right? No, this is still definitely a serious knife. It's still definitely a super high-quality premium knife, and it is something that is made to be used. Probably going to be overkill for the vast majority of things, but this is the type of knife that has all of the cool, extra fancy features, and you can use it and not really worry too much about it. Of course, carbon fiber will mark up over time. The frame, might mark up a little bit over time. It'll take a lot for the blade to get marked up because it is DLC. This stuff is hyper scratch resistant, right? We can use my metal calipers here. Actually, that's not the best example because those are covered in tape, right? We can use, what is this? Is this a Hogue and Magna Cut? We can use the Hogue there, right? We can use the Spyderco Para 3. You're not even pushing that hard. Can we make it squeak? Ooh, don't you dare tell me I'm not pushing hard. Don't you dare. You think I'm trying to fool you? You sit down and be quiet. I'm kidding. You guys remember when I did that short? I was like, DLC's really tough. Watch this. And there was like 1,000 people who were like, I see through your magic. This is a parlor trick. He's a magician. He's a phony. And I was like, no, it really is. I'm sorry that it looks like I wasn't pushing very hard. I'll do the video again. Anyways, so without wiping it off, there's a little bit of spittle there. You can see there it didn't really do much. And anything that really, was left behind can very easily be wiped off. So DLC is not a joke, and people do not exaggerate this stuff. If you're new, and you've seen black blades before, most of the time it's just gas station paint. But the most serious of the serious coatings is DLC. And it is awesome. It is spectacular. Now, if you huck this across your driveway, you might get some marks in it. But it really will take a lot to scratch the blade. It's really good stuff. Cutting geometry comes down to a thinner edge than you might expect. It's a nice slicer. It's got a nice tip. It's very good. It's a blade that's going to excel in a lot of different types of tasks, but it's not laser thin behind the edge. There's your plunge grind. It does get chunky pretty quick, just to let you know. Where is the stop pin for the closed position? Oh, smart. Behind the flipper tab. Good. Then we don't even have to worry about this area right here. Flat looks good. Carries out about 50% the length of the blade. Big aggressive swedge here, and look at all of this jimping. Put your thumb wherever you want. Nice traction, not too toothy, right? A little sharp up here, shaving my fingernails. I used to do that all the time to demonstrate, right? And that's beneficial for people who do not like that and for people who, might try to strike a ferro rod off it. I mean, if you're going to do that, you want it to be able to shave fingernails. Cutting bevel is even across the board with a slight smile back there. Nothing crazy. Love that it's VANAX. I know I've said that multiple times. Really nice. Not a whole lot going on with the handle here. It's just plain. We have the faux bolster, and then we have the carbon fiber. It looks nice. The ergonomic lines are pretty good. We have enough chamfering that it's pretty comfortable. Slightly blocky, but comfortable. Pocket clip. It's long, but not too long, and it's knocked down at the edges and not sharp. So realistically, not much of a hot spot. Even though we do have jimping here on the flipper tab, it's got that hinder or guard shape and is honestly pretty comfortable. The ergonomics here are legitimately very good. I really enjoy them. Love the flat pivot and the flat pivot collar. This is colored if you go with one of the other versions, I think in like bronze. We have a backspacer with a gear pattern that is sunk beneath the scale, so the gear pattern itself is flush, and then the deeper parts of it go lower. You have a lanyard pin or bar, which is the best way to do this because then they don't have to drill a butthole in the knife for everybody. The vast majority of, I mean like the top 99.99999999999% of people who are not going to attach a lanyard to their knife, we don't have to look at the butthole. And the butthole does not have to be in the way of the pocket clip mounting position. It's not. This is smart. It's a lanyard bar that's good to go. Pocket clip is not deep carry, but it's also not shallow. It's going to be about right here. Clip tension is also pretty good. Look how they machine this so that the pocket, the screw isn't like lipped over the side. We have the machining there to keep it consistent around the screw. I actually really appreciate that. That's nice. The lock bar insert does double as the over travel stop. We have no shouldering, but that's okay. It doesn't need it. Runs on bearings. You probably could have guessed. No blade play up, down, left to right. No lock stick. No double clutch. No pivot lash. Very smooth and consistent in here. You can hear it a little bit. That'll slowly go away over time. Very smooth though. Click into the closed position, and we have perfect centering. This is a nice knife. It's very straightforward. This type of knife is very, very easy to review. It doesn't require a lengthy review process. I mean, like, let's be honest. Sometimes I review knives for 40 minutes and no knife needs a 40-minute review, but that's just who I am. This is a little easier to review. It doesn't require that much time. The only issue with this knife is that it's very, very expensive. This knife comes in at $350. Now, it is DLC coated VANAX. That is pretty pricey to do. It's not cheap to do. We also have of course, titanium for the frame, and there's some carbon fiber in there. It looks good. It's not contoured or textured, and there's not really inlay work. It's pretty simple scale. So this is the type of knife that I think deserves to be about $299. Then again, we are talking about two parties here, both Kunwu and Off Grid. But you could say the same about any Off Grid knife because they're all done by OEMs. So $350 feels pretty steep. I mean, if we compare this with like a lot of Kunwu's $350 knives, they've got contouring, texturing. They have oftentimes titanium Damascus on the pivot collars on top of usually being stuff like VANAX or some other wild steel that is often DLC coated. So this has some of the things on my, above $300 checklist, but not all of them. It's good. It's not bad. It just feels a bit overpriced, right? I can kind of understand how they got there with the two parties. And also, let's be real, it is huge. The size of the knife doesn't always dictate the end price tag, but this is a lot of VANAX. I mean, there's two blades, two normal sized blades worth of VANAX here, right? So, you kind of like juggle that a little bit, and it can be easy to justify for some, but not as much for others. For those of you looking for a nice, high-end, big DLC VANAX flipper, I think you're really going to enjoy this. This is not something that I think the masses are going to beat down doors for, but it's cool. Not something that I'm going to openly recommend to everybody, but if you like the look of this and this is right up your alley, it is incredibly well made, and I think you'll enjoy it. So definitely for some and not everybody. I'll link it down in the description. That's going to be it today, guys. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.